Have you ever looked at your salary and thought, I make decent money, so why am I still broke? Or maybe you've seen someone who earns less than you, but somehow they're free from debt. They are saving, they are investing, and they are even planning to retire early. Yet you still struggle with meeting up with your bills. This can be confusing. Well, the difference often comes down to one simple, underrated habit called frugality. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Frugality sounds like cutting out all the fun, living on instant noodles, or never treating yourself with good things. But that's not it at all. Real frugality is not about deprivation. It's about intention. It's about making smart money choices that prioritize your future freedom over short-term enjoyment. Frugality is about living a life of purpose, not pressure. It's about asking yourself, is this purchase moving me closer to my goals or pulling me further away? It's not glamorous or loud, but its quiet consistency compounds into something powerful over time. It helps you design a life based on your values instead of someone else's expectations. In a world that tells you to spend more, upgrade often, and chase status symbols, choosing to be frugal is almost rebellious. But it's also powerful, because when practiced well, frugality becomes the secret weapon that accelerates your journey to financial independence, that place where work becomes optional, not mandatory. In this video, we're diving deep into how frugality can transform your finances, using real-life examples from everyday people who are building wealth not by earning millions, but by mastering the art of spending less and living well. Let's get into it. In today's world, the pressure to keep up is everywhere. From new cars and trendy gadgets to upgraded homes and luxury vacations, society subtly, and sometimes loudly, encourages people to spend. The average household carries thousands of dollars in consumer debt, often due to this pressure to live beyond one's means. But frugality breaks that cycle. It puts you back in control. Frugality is like a superpower that lets you step off the consumer treadmill and build a life rooted in freedom, not finance-induced anxiety. It's not about never enjoying life. It's about enjoying it on your terms. It's deciding that financial peace matters more than impressing people who probably aren't even paying attention. Let's use the story of Sarah, a 29-year-old elementary school teacher in Texas. Sarah doesn't earn a six-figure salary, but she lives like someone who's financially wise. She rents a modest one-bedroom apartment, drives a used Toyota Corolla she paid for in cash, and meal preps every Sunday to avoid spending $15 on lunch every day. While her friends are upgrading to $500,000 homes with 30-year mortgages, she's saving nearly 40% of her income. She's maxing out her Roth IRA, contributing to her 403(b), and investing in low-cost index funds through Vanguard. Sarah is on track to be financially independent before she turns 45. Not because she earns a ton, but because she's frugal. She also makes room for joy. She budgets for occasional dinners out with friends and guilt-free spa days, but only after saving and investing. That's the beauty of frugality. You're not saying no to everything. You're just saying yes to what truly matters. And that clarity? That's powerful. Now contrast that with someone like Mike, a 32-year-old software engineer in San Francisco making $150,000 per year. On the surface, Mike looks successful. He drives a Tesla, rents a downtown condo, eats out daily, and has the latest tech. But he saves almost nothing. His expenses grow with every raise. Despite a high income, he's trapped in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle because his lifestyle consumes everything he earns. If he lost his job tomorrow, he'd be in trouble. Frugality gives Sarah the upper hand, even with less income. Why? Because financial independence isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how little you need to live comfortably. If Sarah only needs $30,000 a year to live and builds a portfolio of $750,000 that generates 4% in returns annually, she can walk away from full-time work. That's the magic of frugality. It shrinks the amount of money you need to become free. That freedom isn't just theoretical, it's emotional. Knowing you're not chained to a job, not drowning in debt, and not dependent on every paycheck brings peace most people never experience. Frugality isn't just a math trick, it's a lifestyle choice that leads to confidence, resilience, and peace of mind. Another key advantage of frugality is that it accelerates the wealth-building process in two ways. First, it allows you to save more. You're living on less and banking the difference. Second, it allows you to invest earlier and more consistently, letting compound interest work in your favor. The earlier you start investing and the more money you put in, the faster you reach financial independence. A frugal person might be able to retire 10 to 20 years earlier than someone with the same income but a high-spending lifestyle. Let's look at James and Carla, a couple living in Ohio. They make about $90,000 combined annually. Instead of upgrading to a bigger house when their income increased, they stayed in their starter home. They paid off their mortgage in 12 years, drive older cars, avoid credit card debt, and rarely buy things on impulse. Their neighbors think they're boring. But behind the scenes, James and Carla have nearly $800,000 invested. They plan to retire at 50 and travel the country in a camper van, completely debt-free and stress-free. Frugality bought them that freedom. That's the beauty of choosing a simple, intentional life. It doesn't just change your bank account, it transforms your mindset. Frugality builds a mental muscle that helps you resist impulse buys, tune out social media envy, and become more resourceful. You find joy in doing more with less, and satisfaction in seeing your savings grow. You stop caring about what others think, and start focusing on what actually brings you happiness. It's also worth noting that frugality builds a mindset of self-sufficiency. You learn to solve problems creatively, find joy in simplicity, and separate your identity from your possessions. That's empowering. When you no longer feel the need to impress others with your spending, your money becomes a tool, not a chain. And you gain the flexibility to make choices based on your values, not your bills. So, how exactly does frugality lead to financial independence? It lowers your cost of living. It increases your savings rate. It gives you the capital to invest and the buffer to take risks. Maybe to start a business, pivot to part-time work, or take a sabbatical. And eventually it helps you build a nest egg that produces enough passive income to cover your lifestyle. The biggest myth is that frugal people are unhappy or living in scarcity. In reality, many are happier because they're not in debt, not stressed about money, and not constantly chasing the next thing. They value time, peace, and freedom more than stuff. And in America, where so many are caught in the grind of work and spending, that mindset is revolutionary. At the end of the day, frugality isn't about being cheap. It's about being wise. It's not about living small. It's about living on purpose. It's the quiet discipline that gives you options, the simple shift that puts you back in control of your money, your time, and ultimately, your life. Financial independence isn't reserved for people with six-figure salaries or lucky breaks. It's available to anyone willing to be intentional, to live below their means, and to value freedom over flash. The truth is, every dollar you don't waste is a dollar you can invest in your future. Every conscious decision you make today moves you one step closer to a life where you no longer have to trade your time for money. So whether you're a teacher, a tech worker, a nurse, or a freelancer, frugality is your ally. It's your fast track to peace of mind, options, and long-term wealth. And the best part, it doesn't cost you anything except the courage to live differently. If you're ready to break free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, start with frugality. Start small, be consistent, and watch how quickly your life begins to change. This is the end of this video. Kindly share your thoughts and reactions with me in the comments section. Bye.